Welcome back, everybody. It's all Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI Network. This is Trell on my co-hosts J-Bone and Bill, and this is the Impact Plus Weekly for the week of J-Bone. What's the week of that it's got listed on here?
Oh, crap. Last week.
Last week.
How about that? How about this week's Xplosion?
I think it's like the 9th.
The 9th, January 9th, 2020. We'll just say this week's Xplosion. How about that? And guys, if you
coming out in the next 24 hours.
There you go. I was going to say, if you thought the fact that we were streaming for I don't know how long last night was going to stop us from doing this, you're out of your goddamn mind. TNI is nearly 7 days a week at this point.
Yeah, TNI is hard to kill as well.
It's true. It's true. It's insane to me, guys. Bill, I was thinking today, I was right before the show. I was like, I can't believe we have a 2-hour show to deal. We have a 2-hour show every week. Man, Xplosion, another 15 minutes of new content. Tops, right? And I'm like, how do we squeeze out hours and hours and hours of worth of content a week? Like Basil said to me the other day, he's like, I don't know how you guys do like 22 hours of Impact podcasting on one flagship show. And I'm like, don't forget throwbacks, man. Every Thursday night, throwbacks. Don't forget those too. But it's insane. We get a lot of, we squeeze every little drop of juice out of the Impact orange. How, Bill? I would say we get everything out of it.
Oh yeah, we squeeze it all. We squeeze it all for sure. Because honestly, you can, like, obviously when you talk about other companies, maybe they are putting out more time of content a week than Impact is, but it's crap. So we talk about good content a lot. So and we're looking at it a bunch of different ways. So
yeah,
I think the people here they support it.
They support it. I think J-Bone, it's a testament to how we're able to find fresh stuff all the time. They just talk about something. We find something at all times.
Yeah, like who knew? Yesterday we had this pay-per-view. We're like, oh, we probably will get something maybe on Tuesday, maybe late Monday. But I think we already got some topics to discuss today.
That's right. We got stuff today. I figure, you know what? We're not gonna go too long today because we did a lot last night. And I want to say this first off, gentlemen. I gotta say, a ton of new subscribers last night. Insane. Jay was looking at the numbers. Crazy amount of new subs last night. So big welcome to all the new people listening on TNI. If you're an AEW fan, you joined us as of last night. Welcome. We do this every Sunday. Tuesday's the flagship show. Thursday's throwbacks. Beer skis every day at Bill's place. That's what we do. I have happy hour at Bill's house every day. If you're in the Philadelphia area, socially distanced happy hours until you have your vaccines. Every night, Bill's house.
And then meatball.
And great meatballs. Meatballs and beer skis. All every night, happy hour before we go live. But welcome to all the new listeners, man. I'm happy. So many new people have been joining us. Pay-per-view nights have become party nights for us. It's really the whole gang's here, and a lot of people join us. So thank you all very much. If you're new, we hope you're back with us on Tuesday at the flagship show, because we found out yesterday, guys, it ain't over. It ain't over.
Oh, yeah, so even here for the co-stream, for our Twitch people, we will be here streaming the actual show, not just a reaction like we did with the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yes.
We'll be you'll see the show with us.
Yep.
Tuesday.
We'll be reacting right alongside of it to this whole new chapter. What's going to go down now? You know, post Hard to Kill.
It's a lot. So we got some stuff to talk about. There's a little bit of news, new merchandise. There's some news. Some people there's former roster members upset. All sorts of stuff going on. But we'll get into it. What we're gonna do? Let's start off with. I say we save whatever formal news till Tuesday, but we'll talk about some topics tonight. I mean, we have merch to talk about. Bunch of new merch dropped last night, so we'll talk about that Tuesday. We'll save it all for Flash. That's where most people are listening, so we want to make sure everybody hears all the big stuff. But we'll talk about. Is that cool, Jay?
Oh, sure.
Tonight, though, we'll talk about. There's a big nugget of shit news going on, buzzing. We're going to talk about that tonight. Don't think we're not going to bring that one up tonight. So that one's been steaming since the morning, and we're going to talk about it. So we'll get into that. But let's jump in Xplosion. Let's just get right into Xplosion. Let's get that checked off. And there we go. Bill is topical. He's got the T-shirt on. Jay, what's the match? Set the Xplosion match here.
We've got. Oh, if I put the right thing together here. No, I don't have it. Okay, here we go. Xplosion from January 9th. Jiminy Christmas. I combined my notes from last night. That wasn't smart. Tasha Steelz, one half of the now Knockouts Tag Team Champions, versus Renee Michelle. This one was a lot of fun.
Renee's been a little quiet lately, though. Not seen her a lot, huh, Bill? Like, she's been... I have not seen her since when? When was the last time we saw her?
Well, she was on Xplosion, I think, a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 3 weeks ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, Xplosion only, not on the TV show, but she has been making these Xplosion appearances, which is good. A good sign, I think, for possibly her future. We don't know if she's there at these tapings, but we'll see.
I feel like everyone is down there for this one. I feel like they, you know who's not, though? I did catch a little clue. I don't think Reno Scum's there.
It doesn't seem it. Yeah, he seems like he's still, and who knows, because of his job, that could be playing a part in it.
Yeah.
Or they just don't have something for him. Or it could be both.
Or I have seen this where some people will come later. Like he might go today, or or tomorrow, because they pay-per-views yesterday. It's like he's not on until taping, so he might fly him in the next day. Why miss another day of? He's in the medical field. Dornstill's in the medical, so he's not going to miss a day of that. It's a very important job he's got. So that could be it too. I don't want to speculate. It could be that they just didn't. Or why fly him down for pay-per-view night?
Yeah, we know Nashville though is just brimming with talent that's been associated with this company. Big time. So Renee Michelle and Tasha before the tag title win. This just proved to me though. Tasha's a great solo act too. Not to take away from the fact she's not a tag team champion, but Tasha's a great solo act. She did a great job.
Yeah, she is. She's got a ton of charisma coming down to the ring. Mm-hmm. Hey, I don't want to give props to Renee Michelle too, man. She looks. And this was a little different. Like the light, she hit the stage, the lights were out, and then the lights kicked in, and she came down. So it was a little different kind of entrance. I was like, whoa, what are they doing? But it was just something different. They were trying something with her. So if that's going to be something going forward, if she comes back, like boom, spotlight come down, like kind of like a model, like hitting the runway kind of thing. Because she had a certain kind of charismatic strut to her, very very runway-esque. Not that I'm a fashion or nothing. I don't know shit about fashion.
Hey, look at that headband.
Yeah.
I do know about headbands. That's one thing I do know. These are high quality bone ski bandanas.
Jabe, I think you're gonna have to get your own brand of headbands going. I mean, it's gonna have to go on TNI merchandise or something. Like you definitely need some kind of branding to go on here. I mean, our pal. We had one of our good buddies, a friend of the show, our Vince Russo, was even pointing that out to you. He was a big fan of your headband look, and he seemed to like what you were working with there. I mean, we got a little clip of that. I think we can play a little clip of that. Where's that at, Bill? Bill, you got that clip pulled over?
Hold on. I think I can grab
that clip. I mean, Vince Russo even liked fashion sense, and we can put that in there. Let's show the people here what he thought about it.
I don't want to tease him because we've been clearing stuff up.
I got it. I scrolled over. So I got it here.
I think I found it. Yeah.
Go ahead. You click it.
Bro, J-Bone, listen to me. Man to man. Bro, you got the Brian Alvarez thing going on. What's going on over there with the headphones, bro? What's going on there with the thing?
Jeez.
J-Bone, talk to me.
I never get bored of that one. For those who didn't see it, the Vince Russo was on TNI a few months back, early in 2020. One of a highlight moment. All he did is he roasted us for the first 20 minutes of that. It was great. But
that seems to be a common trend with the guests.
It seems like it. I don't know what it is. We're like the proverbial punching bag here, but they seem to love us. So,
Bravo, Callahan, Russo. Who's next?
Ace Austin was nice to us. He didn't give us any trouble at all. Ace did not give us a single roasting.
He was an absolute half-naked gentleman.
For the ladies out there, Ace had no shirt on during our entire interview, but nobody complained.
So, yeah, definitely want to watch that back.
Nobody complained on that one at all. But also, no, Jabe, good point. I think this was the first seed of the Renee Michelle character development. Like they're like, what do we do with her? Oh, maybe runway model, Bill. I think Mrs. Spud's gonna have a little something here.
I said when she first came here, remember all the work they put into Scarlett as the smoke show.
Yeah,
for her just to bail. I would totally be in favor. Have her come out of smoke. Make her the new smoke show. Use the gimmick you created. I don't care. She can go whine like these other past employees on Twitter and say that was my gimmick, but it's not anymore. It's Impact. They put the work in. They'll do it.
I like that. It's kind of like we got another smoke show here.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. And she can pull it off. Has she done a promo yet or no? I don't think she's done a promo yet, has she, Renee?
No,
forgetting something?
It's just been match stuff between tag stuff and singles, I believe.
Yeah, unless they did anything digital, which they may have put something on Twitter, but I'm not positive on it.
I'd like to know. Maybe in the chat knows. Have they done a promo work with Renee yet? Because actually, Killer Kelly didn't have one either, has she?
I don't think so.
I don't remember if they have. No, I'm sure they filmed something. I mean, they film a ton of stuff. But I'm curious if they released any digital shorts, which would be great if they start airing those digital shorts on Xplosion. But that's something we've been pitching for instead of the ultimate flashbacks all the time. But either way, pretty good match. I did like it. They both look great. Tasha does go in with the win on this, momentum into Hard to Kill, which she did. Her and Kiera did win the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, the first of the reactivated Knockouts Tag Team Champions. But she looked good here, man. It just showed me you could split Tasha off at any moment, and she's a great singles right away.
Yeah, both her and Kiera, they can both do it.
And Kiera was singles for a while with us. Before she. So Eric's saying she did do a promo with Kelly.
Okay.
So if anybody can link that to us, go ahead and link. Just throw that link up for us. We'll check.
Yeah, I would think they probably did in that for the tag tournament. They probably gave every team something like backstage or the. But right now, so much has gone on since then.
Yeah. And for anybody just joining us, we're going to talk Hard to Kill Fallout Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit of just some news that popped up today. This is the open forum Xplosion talk. Tuesday is more of the Fallout show. We did a full show review. It's on the channel, Twitch and YouTube. It's on there. It's flying. A lot of people watch it. Thank you again to all the people who watched it. If you missed our review, we went live last night. It is on the channel. Go catch up. We broke the whole show down. Dark match to main event. We broke it all down. So
and if you want to go back and watch me and Jay react as the show happened, if you can see me going crazy and Jay going, "Oh my gosh, I need more lollipops," you can watch that happen live.
I gotta say, there's a market for YouTube. YouTube have this unique draw with the watch longs because it's so crazy how many views those reaction videos do get of you two just sitting there watching stuff.
It's amazing, and that's the thing though. You can't be bumps on the log. You got to be like, talking to the chat, reacting to stuff that's going on. You got to do a nice little even little bit of both, here and there. And it's a long night sitting here, but it's worth it because the fan reaction was tremendous. We got a lot of new faces in, ton of new subs between Twitch and YouTube. So thank you for, joining us. And
Look, I'll be honest. I'm still wearing my Hard to Kill shirt.
Nice.
I wore it again today. And you know what?
It never gets old.
I'm going to Febreze it and wear it again Tuesday. How about that?
Oof. Well, I have a new Hard to Kill shirt in the mail. I got to put them next to each other and see if there's any differences.
I thought they changed the logo a little bit. I thought there's a little bit more shading in it. There's something very light tweaking in it. I think.
Hey, who knows? Maybe there's an Omega symbol in it.
Hidden in there, a little Trojan. I'd be curious, Bill, when you get the new one. Check it out. Cool. That's the match. Let's talk about the Around the Ring with David Penzer, our pal David Penzer, who he didn't roast us either. David Penzer was nice to us.
Yeah,
David's a gentleman. He really is.
He is a total gentleman. He didn't roast us. Around the Ring. It was a part 2 with Deonna.
Part 2 with Deonna.
Talk about it, Bill.
Yeah, they go first. He talks about the no fans in the arena because pretty much her debut in Impact was obviously she was wrestling in front of people up north, down south, whatever you want to call where she was before. Mm-hmm. But now she was wrestling. She comes right in with Jordan Grace, and they put on a match of the year, unless you're Meltzer. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you put in a match of the year, and not in front of anybody. So he's like, well, how do you do that? How hard is that? And she's like, it is hard, but it works to her pace because she's methodical, because she called it virtuosa pace. So it's actually good for her. It's actually an advantage. Not even though she would feed off fans and stuff in the past, she can do it without it, which is very interesting. They talk about opponents she'd like to face, like on the roster, who she hasn't faced but wants to face. And she hasn't faced Rosemary ever, Havoc, or Nevaeh.
Really? Oh, wow.
That kind of surprised me. She mentioned she only faced like Kiera once or twice, so she'd like to do that again. I know on the previous one, she talked about wanting to face Tasha again as well, because that's someone she came up with on the Indie. So
yeah,
so like that's kind of like just looking forward. Those are opponents personally she wants to have, and I'd like to like that Rosemary match. I'd love to see that.
We just end up like, I think we subliminally just think that they've all faced each other because there are always matches going on, and there's still first time matches yet to happen. Deonna Rosemary seems like like subconsciously I think it already happened. I feel like they did it already, but they haven't. That's a huge draw match right there. That's
and she does mention Taya, but obviously we just got that. But that match hadn't happened until last night.
Interesting. Very.
And I think we'll see that again. And I know Bell's Boy put it in there. Hopefully Mark's in the treehouse and he saw that tweet from her today saying that like she'll go back to the drawing board. She congratulated Deonna on the win, but she's not giving up.
Not giving up, man.
Because I know he was pretty deflated that was her out the door, but
yeah. As we know, our pal Mark, Uncle Mark, is the Taya fan. I mean, I'm talking the Taya fan. There is no bigger Taya fan than Mark. You know what I mean? So he was a little bummed out, a little depressed last night. It's hard to kill, but his emotion was killed as of that loss. But he'll heal. Time will heal the wounds with Mark. I'm sure he'll move. He'll move on. Things will happen. Things will be
you
okay.
know what? Sting actually is right on this because this can tell you the timing of when they taped it. Because we did get that match at Final Resolution.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I could have swore we saw it.
But obviously this was taped before Final Resolution.
Yeah. I gotta be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of detail, and I know there's staff and there takes time, but that's the kind of detail you got to be careful about.
But that's the thing. That's kind of old Xplosion. You never know when it's going to air. So it's kind of tough to kind of keep all that in there because, like, obviously Ty just happened, but I wasn't going back and checking all the boxes. So, but obviously that gives you an idea. This was taped. That last set of tapings before. So this is 2.5 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, crazy to think that
right after you were there.
Right after I was there, around October time. So this is taped then.
No.
Crazy. I mean, like, again, we don't think about. I mean, we're thinking, they probably just taped the last taping or something. But this has been taped. This has been in the can for months. So it makes you wonder what other around the rings are in the can. Well,
there could be more. There could be more. And obviously, we've been seeing multiple parts. But then it gets into some more personal stuff, which may or may not know. She's going to school right now. She's in college. She's a history major. Talking about doing maybe a political science minor, but she wants to be a K through 12 teacher.
Look at that.
The Virtuosa teacher.
Mrs. Virtuosa, can I go to the bathroom? Just fucking Venus de Milo's a couple of kids.
Yeah, there you go. But I did find, like, now I know one of the reasons I like Deonna so much. We share a similar passion in history because I was also a history major.
Are you a history major? I didn't know that about you.
I was history and English. But in high school, like I did my major project that year on the same topic she's interested in, the JFK assassination.
Interesting. I didn't know that about you, Bill. I learned something about Bill today, guys. Known Bill for 5 years this year. Learned something about Bill. I didn't know that about you. Interesting. So how many times have you watched Oliver Stone's JFK at this point?
Oh, I watched it a ton. Back and to the left.
Back and to the left.
And then obviously when I went down there for Impact shows down in Dallas,
last year
was my first stop. Dealey Plaza.
Dealey Plaza, yeah, that's right. Let me ask you this. Total sidebar. Is it a little weird to you also that they have the X marks the spot on the street?
Yes, that's in poor taste.
I think it's a little odd to me. That's like there's people.
Oh, there's people that go in traffic and take pictures. I'm like, well, this is the kill spot. I'm like, that's not cool. Like, what are you doing? Like, That's a weird thing. It's weird, Jay. Like they literally have a big X on the street. Like, this is the spot the kill shot happened on. I'm like,
Are you kidding? Like, what the fuck? Very strange.
But the thing is, you got, obviously, if you've seen JFK, obviously you know anything about the assassination, you got to go into the book depository. You got to go to the window, see like how likely is that shot made, and then you got to go obviously to the grassy knoll, see what happened there, because obviously that's supposedly didn't happen. Magic bullets.
Bullets. More than one shooter.
It gives you more of an idea of kind of the gravity of all this. It's a very tight area.
It is. I would love to do just a special discussion pod about this with you, Bill, at some point, because I got weird takes on this too. I am not a JFK fan, and I've read about this a lot just because I want to know a lot about the stuff too. I'd love to have a talk about this one with you. That'd be cool, because if you've studied it a lot, this is one interesting one to talk about. That's really neat. I put
together a little PowerPoint presentation. I had all kinds of stuff.
Oh man, wait, how about this? Patreon.
And you know what? It was still better than Sting's debut video on the old TNA.
The Jeremy Borash PowerPoint that he
yes, I was out doing them in high school.
How about this, guys? Special Patreon exclusive. We go over Bill's final JFK history project, slide by slide. And we grade him. TNI gives him a grade, and we give him an honorary passing or failing grade. That's awesome, bud. I didn't know that. That's really cool about Deonna though too. She's a Jersey girl, East Coast girl, like she's on the East Coast like yourself too. So that's really neat. That's really neat. Did you see? She didn't work. Did she work indies on the East Coast coming up, or did she go right to Ohio Valley and stuff like that?
No. She worked. She worked indies. I saw her. Honestly, minutes from my house at a like a VFW lodge against Tessa when Tessa was just starting.
Okay.
But she was on a bunch of she was up in like Rawway at some shows up there. So she definitely made the rounds in Jersey, PA.
She did. Okay, so she worked she did the indie loop for
yeah. Yeah, she was making appearances for some of the big promotions like Ring of Honor when they were they kind of would put like maybe a women's match to open a show. Dark. She did some of that, but she was making appearances throughout. If I went back to like their cage match page, I'd probably be like, oh man, I may have seen double-digit matches of hers on the indies.
Oh wow, that's interesting, because I know she started off on the East Coast and did some finishing up work in Ohio Valley, because she always plays Rip Rogers a lot. That's Correct. Like her guy.
But it just shows you, because when like Jay just reviewed that Knockouts Knockdown, what was that, 2014, Jay?
Yes.
Where she was in her eighth match, I believe. So from there until she went there, she got a lot of indie work in for like a year and a half to 2 years.
Never knew that. I never knew how much indie work she actually did. She never made it out here to the Midwest. Mainly stuck on the coast until she came to Ohio. But I can't say I ever saw her work at a Chicago indie. We got plenty. So I've never seen her out here. So I guess she probably came as far as Ohio and then she was in the system, and then she went from there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Cool. Any other thing else of note?
Just the last thing was Penzer makes a little bit of a joke about her singing, that she's a good singer. And supposedly there must be footage somewhere of her. She's like, oh, that was a one-off. Because he's like, would you go on The Voice or American Idol? She's like, no. But they must have caught her singing backstage or something. So I don't know what happened there.
Maybe that'll surface.
But another skill set for the virtuosa.
Never know.
She can do it all.
Karaoke
with the virtuosa coming to Impact Plus. Maybe.
There you go.
Jay, what do we have for the flashback and recaps?
The flashback classic match is Genesis 2012. Bobby Roode is TNA champ, and he is defending against one Jeff Hardy. This one was interesting because it was Bobby Roode was on a roll. This is shortly after Jeff Hardy came back, I believe, because there was a little bit of stuff in the commentary about Jeff Hardy recently coming back, and that was after he was, he went away to clean up, came back, apologized to the fans. That was what was going on here. So he was going for the championship again, and Bobby Roode was in tremendous heel form here. He ended up kneeing the ref to
Brian
get
Hebner.
Returning Brian Hebner.
That was the tease.
So yeah, that's a very strange tease. I mean, he got kicked into Jimmy, but yeah. So Jeff Hardy wins, but no title change here.
Yeah, and Brian Hebner is back in the company. He is there. He signed to a year, I think I heard, or what was that?
I did not hear exactly what he is, but he said he was back, like he was back home. But that's good. That's another interesting thing that obviously happened a couple years ago when all the referees kind of left. Said like they all left in like a little stance there about payment. But now obviously we saw Stifler come back at Bound for Glory, but that was a one-off, and now we see Hebner come back. So interesting.
Very interesting. It's cool to see Brian back.
Good official. And I know we had the same thought though on he returned, but he reffed the main event.
Yeah, I'm a little weird about that. I feel like Toll's been if it's not senior official, he's been basically the senior guy. Put the work in, and that's one of the biggest main events.
Part of that first group that came. He's part of that initial group with Bravo that came in right after. It was Bravo and Kidman, along with Toll, the three that replaced those three.
I don't know the politics of who gets what match and all that stuff, and I don't want to speculate on it, but one of those things where if I'm looking at it as an outsider, I feel like Toll put the work in. That's the guy to go to your main. But maybe there's reasons. We don't want to be the one to speculate that. But Brian Hebner to get that main event last night.
It's a ref thing. I mean, we don't know. We're not privy to the discussions that went on backstage. I mean, it's great to see him back, though.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. It's nice to have him. Yeah, either way, it's nice to have a Hebner back in business here.
Well, it is interesting. Critical Sting brings up a good point. So is Brian Hebner, the senior official Susan, went to talk to when Daniel Spencer kicked her out. Because she said, I'm going to the senior official.
Oh, yeah, with that video.
One of my top 3 moments of the night was the Susan Karen video.
We might have to play that again on Tuesday night.
Oh, it's worth it. It's worth playing. The Susan Karen video that got posted in real time to her Twitter account. It's just mind-blowing.
And that's one thing we've been talking about, little things like when Caleb's at ringside taking pictures of Tennille at ringside, like, oh, okay, she's posing. That stuff should go live shortly after the match. Like, boom, like they're there, to just continuous storytelling,
interactive
little things.
Yeah. Cool. Jay, what was the just a recap for the week match? What do they have for that one?
That was a grudge match between Edwards and Callahan, which eventually set up the barbed wire massacre that we saw last night at Hard to Kill. Which was I ended up watching it again because I missed part of it while watching it live. So I went back and actually watched that and the main event back to back. And oh man, what an amazing hour of pay-per-view there. Jeez Louise. So good.
Oh, if you missed Hard to Kill, you missed a hell of a show. What? The replay available on Fight TV. Go get it before Tuesday. If you get caught up before Tuesday's Impact on Access, you'll be all in line with what's going on Tuesday. Yeah, so don't forget, $40.
All you have to do is watch the beginning of our reactions, and you'll see how crazy we're going for it. So it's an easy $40.
Here's the thing. Here's the value pack. Here's the total value pack. $40 gets you this. Gets you the Hard to Kill pay-per-view on your Fight TV account, which you can watch forever. It's yours on Fight TV. Then for free, to go along with that, you have the reaction show of Jay and Bill reacting to everything. And then for free, on top of that, you get a 2-hour full review by TNI, the number one Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, just look at that. That's like DVD extra features.
It is.
Built in.
It's several hours of content for one price. 3 for 1 you're getting.
And in a pandemic, content's king.
Content's king. Absolutely. And our review is much different than anybody else's. It's not dorky. It's not move for move. We actually have girls on our show. This is a different world for wrestling fans. And we have a lot going on here. So full analysis.
And if the Boricua Badass was here, she would say it was all.
Where did you get that out? What, that's sneaky.
Did he put more in here? Is there more?
You did that?
Oh, you did that. Ah, J-Bone. I love it. I got
a Bone Man.
I got to play it one more time just for fun. I love the zoom ins that we have on these things. Like, I love it.
That originally was going to be me talking about, because I destroy that every time I try to do it. It sounds like I'm choking on a hairball when I try to do that. So that was going to be my little attempt to, hey, I've been working on this, guys. Okay, you ready? And then hit it, and then it's actually that. So.
Sting wants all of us to do it, so I'm going to try it here. Jay, you're going to be in last. So get worried. Oh,
that's pretty good.
That's pretty close. Yeah.
All right,
see, you got a little edge on us on this one, Trent. I'm going to give you.
All right.
Oh, that's bad. But I shouldn't be able to do it. It'd be wrong if I could.
It's not bad.
All right, J-Bo. J-Bo's got to get the pipes ready. Here we go.
Oh.
That's artificial. You used performance enhancing.
That's as close as it's gonna get without me sounding like I'm,
That's like auto tune. That's like the auto tune version. All right, let's jump into some open forum. We got to start with the big one, right? Ethan Page put out a big thing today. We got to talk about this. He got all pissed off about the Karate Man segment. He posted a Body Guy t-shirt. Bill, he posted it in you broke things down again. Where did he post it? He posted a big rant.
Yeah, he posted this, and a lot of people don't even know because they're not giving credit a lot of the fake wrestling news. It was posted on Facebook in the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast private group for their Patreon subscribers.
Under his real name, too.
Under his real name. Under Julian's real name. Mm. So it was posted there. I don't know. Do we... Because I know we have it. Do we want to bring it up? Or do we just want to kind of highlight the topics?
Jay, you haven't seen either. You have it ready to go. You want just to share? I say we share it just for context. Let's go ahead and put it out there, just so we can at least people know what the hell we're talking about. If
do you want to grab it from the Facebook message I sent?
Yeah, Jay, if you can pull that up, let's start talking about Jay. If you don't mind pulling it up, this display. But Bill, while he's pulling that up, go ahead and just kind of highlight what was talked about.
I'll just give the high level view of it. Hold on, I'm pulling it up here.
Well, he was basically while Bill's pulling. Let me set it up here. He's mad about the way the Karate Man segment was edited last night, and says it was a hack job. Was not what they showed him it was going to be. So that's kind of the gist of it. And if Bill, you want to get into specifics, you can do that.
He goes through. It's something. It's something to say the least. First of all, he's saying he's taking a break from social media, so that's why you haven't seen it on his official Twitter account.
Okay.
But he's talking about it. He's embarrassed with how Impact. He's talking about as you said, the editing. He felt the segment. Fighting the Guys was comedy enough. He thinks it became more comical due to the editing, which I find far-fetched.
It's a comedy character, Jiminy Christmas.
Off the top of my head, I don't get. I said to you guys in our chat, what was he expecting here? Scorsese? I don't get what was the expectation?
Yeah, that's
I don't get that.
I don't know where. If you look at his other YouTube content regarding the Karate Man, it kind of falls right in line. This isn't much of a surprise. Like I always said from the beginning, I was leery of this on the pay-per-view just because I don't think a segment I think it's too comedy for a pay-per-view. Fine for TV. Could have been on the go-home show. No big deal. But on here, it was going to get a lot more eyes. And I think I don't think a lot of the reaction was great. Because then he goes right after the company and says like that they kind of, because he left, they lied to his face, he says, and just did what they wanted the whole time. But what does that mean? Like, what did they do what they wanted? He made this. He's saying like, what part did they cut out that just made this a genius?
It's
segment?
No different than the shit he's putting on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, it falls right in line. Shit. Yeah, it's the same thing, which is it has its place, but come on. Like he calls it hot garbage, which I thought I penned originally when I saw it, but he's saying it too. But I think that's what he's getting. I think he just got a lot of blowback for it, and he's trying to throw Impact under the bus here, when I think this was pretty much his whole production.
It blows my mind. Because it's a very long rant. It's a long rant.
It's paragraphs.
Yeah. And I was like, I watched it. I didn't think it was anything less or anything more than what I've seen with the Karate Man stuff. I'm thinking it's just what we've seen. It's goofy. It's purposely goofy. The idea that it's purposely cheesy.
He's saying it was supposed to be more serious, and they edited to make it just comedy.
But it is comedy. Like I took it for what it was. I didn't think it was any more.
Karate Man is not a serious character. It's not like so Karate Man is not like the Undead Realm, like when Havoc killed Jim Mitchell. It's not like that.
Well, yeah, Impact posted all the stuff like we've done this. Like they threw Mickey James in front of a train.
Yeah.
Like they posted all this. We threw Mickey James in front of a train. We had a little kid get run over by a car.
Yeah, Garrett put the whole list out tonight.
Yeah, Garrett put it all out there. It's like we don't get away from any of this. They killed Allie. I forgot they had killed Luchasaurus too.
I forgot that too, by the way. I was like, what was it? He was in Impact. I'm like, oh yeah,
he was in one of those segments, like during that same time period. Yeah, right. I totally forgot about it.
I want to add this real quick, Bill. There's a handful of people in the chat saying this is a work. They're thinking this is a work because it's so over the top.
But where it doesn't make sense on where he posted it to be a work.
Exactly. Yeah. But then again, things just get out anyway. Organic, like we're all talking about it. It got out enough that everybody's talking about it. Well, either way,
And look what he put on his own YouTube and his socials right after he posted that. So how is he taking a break from social media and now he's putting out more production pieces?
And I'm agreeing. The people in the chat are saying it too. How
and he's naked, for crying out loud. That's
it's like how serious are we supposed to take this? What is it that we're supposed to take seriously here? The whole thing was purposely it's a guy fighting himself, his alter ego. For what it was, it's purposely cheesy. That's the point of the whole thing.
And that's the thing. Like I once again, I had reservations on. Okay, we all kind of knew he left the company, but you're giving this huge pay-per-view, Kenny Omega, on the pay-per-view, and you're giving a guy that left the company a prime spot on this pay-per-view to have what I think is his indulgence. You're giving him that vehicle for to help maybe his future YouTube subscribers. That's very kind of you. And they've been doing that for the Rascals. I thought that was okay. We're gonna go high road. They go low, we go high. He was going high. They Ed Nordholm, Scott, Don. They're like, Ethan, here you go. You were a good soldier. You did great with the tag belts. Here you go. Go out on your terms. They do it for him.
Absolutely.
But to not only do that, I think they went out of their way. But now he's crapping all over Impact, even though they gave him, in my mind, everything he wanted.
Everything you wanted.
I don't like that. I don't like that, Trent. This makes me feel the same thing I feel about Matthew Palmer. It's like, why? It's like, we all like you, Ethan. We do. We like the North. I think there's a lot of fans here of the North. And if it goes out just like the Rascals, sad to see it. Maybe you come back. Hey, Chandler Park, I'm always waiting for you. But to go out like this, a whimper, I'm going to give it. Maybe a half a whimper. It just isn't right. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what does this serve? It makes some marks on the internet happy?
Yeah.
To go try to rip on TNA Impact again, because they're going to call it TNA, not Impact.
Right. Well, now they will, right? Because of this, TNA. I don't know if you guys saw it. I hate engaging with these marks. I don't know, Jay or Bill, if you guys saw this on the Twitter, on the Instagram post about this. I got into it like a handful of marks because I felt I never do this, but I just saw people just shitting on Hard to Kill because of this, and I couldn't let it stand. I go, there's no fucking way I can let you people rip on that paper and dismiss the entire work of that crew who we love. I personally love. I worked with that crew. I love that crew. Yeah. And for them to dismiss that crew's hard work last night because this one goof segment for 5 minutes by a guy they like, he's upset about it. and you're shitting on the whole pay-per-view. I said, this is, and I just think, I made the mistake. I don't engage with the mark because it's like don't feed the animals.
Well, that was my issue. That's why I said if it was me, I would not have put it on the pay-per-view. I would have put it on the go-home show because I think it was risky. It was a risk. You didn't need to take the risk, but I think they were trying to make him happy.
Of course.
And then to get this response is just like you went out of your way to make this guy happy, and then he freaking slits your throat.
Unbelievable to me. It's like you're technically, his deal is up January 1st and he's not signed. So if 2 weeks after your deal is up, you still got a pay-per-view appearance. Ethan Page got advertised on a pay-per-view when he's not signed to the company.
Exactly.
Right, Jay? And it's like, let me hear, Jay, you were going to say something earlier. Let's go ahead. Go ahead and talk about your thoughts on this.
Oh, it just looks stupid. It looks like he's in peak position in the company for the last 2 solid years. One of the top tag teams in the industry. Industry made the freaking PWI cover. Shout out to Basil.
Basil took that photo.
Yeah, and and they're giving him his own character, his own creation to go out on, and he's like, "Oh, they lied to me. The fuck did they lie about?"
I think it's all jealousy of these guys.
You think so?
I think it's a lot of it.
Really? I mean, who's to say that they're putting in the goddamn work? If you see the Good Brothers,
he's putting in work too, but it's a different thing. It's a different thing. But I think that's what came out there is like the Good Brothers. I think that was part shoot. That whole thing. It's like they come in, they get all this money. They're like elevated to the top of the card, and he feels like they were pushed aside. But there's something to it. The Good Brothers they're a huge act. I think they were willing to make them put them right up there. Remember, they won the titles back.
Yeah, they even got them back. That's right.
And we didn't think they were winning the titles back. They won the titles back.
That's true.
So once again, I think Impact did very well through them, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. There was literally one minor hiccup in the entire incredible pay-per-view. And the only reason there was a hiccup, and it wasn't even production's fault, I went back and I watched the Eddie Edwards-Callahan match, and at one point, they tossed something out of the ring, one of the boards with the barbed wire or whatever on it. They tossed it out of the ring, and it went towards the commentary desk, and it knocked out D'Lo's audio for like a minute. And
I mean,
so Stryker
he was on top of it. He was covering for it.
Yeah, he was talking, and then there was a little bit of quiet, and then Stryker kicked back in, and then immediately they heard it, found it, and got him back in there. So it was so brief. If you blinked, you missed it because you're just watching this, carnage in the ring. Mm-hmm. But that was it for like the whole night. It was great, and.
I just cannot sit idly by. And that his rant is one thing, but these marks jumping in and bitching about it because they want to, side with Ethan, whatever. Fine, be his fan. I'm not saying don't be a fan of his. He had put his time in the company, but when you're dismissing Hard to Kill because he's not happy with a 6-7 minute segment, whatever it was, I cannot get it. Like, don't call yourself a fan. Don't even bother calling yourself a goddamn wrestling fan if you can dismiss that 3 hours of some of the most solid pay-per-view wrestling work I've ever seen. And you're like, the Karate Man segment was terrible, and he's pissed. So I'm gonna say the whole thing sucks. Bullshit. And that's where I question why he had to put that out right away, first thing in the morning. I get it. The defense will be put in a private group. It's like, but it's gonna get out. Says Julian. It's gonna get out.
I think it was a surprise of how it got reviewed.
Yeah.
I think he was expecting it to get rave reviews. And he did. That's why I have the body guy, when that got canceled and he did the card, the animated one, it was fantastic. It was a fantastic 10 minutes. Great job. And then obviously when they did the empty arena with the dummies in the crowd in Canada. Fantastic.
That was hilarious.
But once again, I think that works more on a TV product, not the pay-per-view product. And And this was something different. This was, and let's again, like broken stuff. I think more people liked it than didn't like it, but this is risky stuff when you do it. You're definitely going to turn off part of the audience.
Good point.
And that's a risk on a pay-per-view to do that. So that's why I wouldn't have, but that was bound to happen. But I think more people came out negative than I think he was thinking. And that's why he was quick to disassociate himself with it as much as he could.
It's a defense mechanism, deflect a little bit maybe, but potentially. I'd love to know if more comes out over the next few days. Because I don't like how it put a damper on a very I'm not gonna give it that much power that it just dampers the whole page. No way. But it did put a little corner of a bad taste in on what is a very big high for everybody coming out. Especially, I mean, you had MVPs made last night. Moose being the biggest one in my opinion. Shining. I just on a personal, I talked to Moose this morning. I said we went a couple messages back and forth, and I said I am beyond proud of you. I said, you absolutely are the MVP. Yeah. You know, and he was very thankful. And
in a match with Kenny Omega.
Unreal.
He's the MVP.
Mark was telling me that he went on Reddit. Yeah, Mark was telling me that he went on Reddit last night. And Reddit's they'll crucify anything. Especially, they were never big fans. The Reddit group is a very, very marquee group of people. He said it was Moose fandom last night. He's like, I cannot believe the reviews for not only Hard to Kill, but the Moose fandoms through the roof. And the super marks are never into Moose. They hate Moose.
Oh, and I didn't listen to the whole review. I listened to bits and pieces that get put on YouTube and stuff like that. Meltzer and Brian Alvarez loved Moose in the main event. That's all they talked about in the main event was Moose.
Crazy to think that I mean, even the biggest negative people were turned. Because you saw it. You cannot deny it. And that's the part that gets me is when you're dismissing a product or a show after that based on one segment, you know, it's like cutting your nose off to spite your face. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. You're shorting yourself as a wrestling fan at that point. So
hey, that's a callous line.
Is it the invisible hand, if you will. Real quick, Jay, is Hakeem not joining us tonight? I thought he was going to pop in, plug an article and stuff.
He didn't get back to me, so he must have been busy or whatever.
No worries. We'll get Hakeem on again. Hakeem Fullerton, guys, writes the best Impact Wrestling lists, articles, great analysis. So check out his articles, please.
Yeah, he usually leaves them in the chat, like post live. Mm-hmm. Like he'll post a couple links a week or whatever. So yeah, that's one of the easiest way to catch him is if you come back to one of our chats or comments below post show and find them. Yeah.
So that was that. Anything else? So that was that one thing. Like I said, if you guys were swayed, anybody watching, and we got a nice little number in here tonight. You guys are new listeners to our show. This is our open forum show. Just real quick, open topics, Xplosion talk. Tuesday's the main Impact and Access TV, the flagship show. We'll probably talk about a little bit more Tuesday. But if you or any bit of you was swayed and watching Hard to Kill because of what you heard this morning about the Ethan Page thing, I implore you.
As you said it.
Here we go. Speak of the devil.
Yeah, I implore you to go back and watch it on Fight TV. Do not
check it out.
Hakeem is here. Where the hell were you, Hakeem? We're 48 minutes into this thing.
Yeah, sorry about that. After you've had a long day at work, you get tired and you get so tired you forget to do stuff. So sorry.
No problem.
It's okay.
We're tired too. We did a lot. I'm gonna let you. We're gonna start wrapping up in a few. I want you to plug your articles though. I want you to get what's your latest articles for the week. What do you got out there? I want people to go to it. Kick off the week.
Okay. Well, in a couple of days, I'm gonna have an article called 10 Impact Knockouts Who First Appeared on Knockouts Knockdown.
Nice.
It's an event that I feel like needs to come back, especially with how things are going for the Knockouts division. And basically, it's just going to show pretty much like the Knockouts from the past and even some of the present. And you're like, wait, these ladies were in the Knockouts division beforehand, and what they looked like back then and out there, different from now. And of course, after that, next week, I'm going to have the top 5 knockouts of the 2000s, and that's going to be like the first of many articles seeing who's the best knockouts of of the decade. So stuff like that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Guys, I'm telling you, he has the best like listed type articles. Like it's a lot of stuff. Facts you never knew, things you might have forgotten. Hakeem, your Twitter, Fullerton Hakeem, as it's written in his handle right there. Follow him because he's tweeting. He's always posting them. And if you're missing them, they're in the comments of the videos as well, like J-Bone mentioned. But
there you go.
Very cool. Hakeem, since we already talked about, give me your thoughts overall, just a kind of an overall thought on Hard to Kill. Let's get your thoughts on that.
I gotta say, one of the best shows that Impact has had in quite a while. I would have to say better than Bound for Glory. And honestly, I think if you are still sleeping on Impact Wrestling, in the words of Luke Gallows, you need to wake the fuck up.
Pretty much. Awesome, man. Listen, we also talked about the Ethan Page thing. Give me your quick synopsis thought about that. We talked right before you got. We wrapped up on that.
Okay. Oh, that. Okay. Honestly, to be honest, I'm not even sure what to say about that because I've always heard people say it's like, oh, the company wanted, I think, what was it, his the Karate Man, that Ethan didn't want the Karate Man to be on Impact, but people are saying like, oh no, Ethan wanted that to happen. At this stage in the game, I think that the company must have asked Ethan Page to put the Karate Man on the show because I'm pretty sure Impact is not that stupid to be like, oh, we got this big show on pay-per-view. What should we do with Ethan Page? I know. How about we get his YouTube character and we're going to have him wrestle that guy instead of, I don't know, Josh versus Ethan Page. Imagine that, makes a bit more sense.
Which I'm surprised. Real quick, Hakeem, I'm surprised, guys. Jay and Bill, I thought we talked about this on the main show. We thought that's where the whole thing was leading to was Josh versus Ethan. That was the whole idea, I thought.
It sounds like he may not have wanted to do the job.
That's what I think it was. I mean, Jay, we talked about this. You and I talked offline at one time. Yeah. They literally were setting up Josh being frustrated. I can't stand you. And he's like, don't worry. He's like, no, fuck this guy. It was going to perfectly be a match. That should have been the damn match at Hard to Kill. It should have been these two.
Yeah, instead of Brian Myers. And please don't take that as anything against Brian Myers.
No, not at all.
He is a workhorse, and if you're not sold on that yet, give it a couple months into this new year of 2021 for Impact Wrestling. You go back and you'll be like, damn, J-Bone was right.
And the Myers-Josh match is free on Fight TV if you want to watch it.
And you can watch us react to just that match.
You could. The reaction's all free.
But when we talked about the Ethan Page stuff, Akeem brings up a good point that in those paragraphs that he put, one of the things he does say is he acts like, well, we just get a script and I have no control over this. And then he acts like he didn't even want to do the Karate Man stuff. So that doesn't make any sense at all. Because obviously you produced what they got. If they edit it somewhat, that's another story. But you produced this. So you can't the toothpaste is out of the tube. The baby's out of the tub. Yeah. You can't go back and rewrite history, brother.
That's true, man.
Plus you have to be honest. It's like, so you mean to tell me that the company told Ethan Page that, hey, we're thinking about you taking on the Karate Man at what might be your final match in the company, and he realistically was not laughing. He's like, okay, sure, I'll do it. Or it was like, what the F? I'm not doing that. Are you ridiculous? He's just not I don't believe this. I'm pretty sure he was 100%, with this. And if he truly is upset and this was an air quote punishment, well, I don't know what to say. But Ethan, if you're upset, you need to get over yourself, mate. But also thank you for your time and service. And if you're going to the $1 million indie show in AEW, good luck with that.
There we go. We couldn't sum up any better. But hey, again, for anybody anybody who is down on the show because of that, get over it yourselves as well. Watch.
I think there are people
that
didn't watch Hard to Kill. The ones that are saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There also one last bit I need to say is in regards to Madison Rain. Thank you for your time in service for the division.
Absolutely.
And I mean, if there is one person who I think should be inducted into the Hall of Fame next year for Bound for Glory, I'd have to say it's her or Father James Mitchell.
Yeah.
And also, thank you, Josh, for your work as a commentator. I may not have always liked you as a commentator so much, but you're not as bad as the internet likes to say you are.
Yeah.
And also, I enjoy what we got with Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown. Might be the closest thing to this generation's Mike Tenay and Don West, in my opinion. It might be blasphemous for some to say that, but hey, that's just my opinion, and we all have that in wrestling.
Oh, they brought it last night. Like I said, man, just the charisma of Matt Striker hitting those peaks when the action was at its like, oh my God, when there's like, 6 men in the ring banging it out, whatever, man.
Jay, hold on a second. Is this Moose in the chat here? I got to know if this is really Moose hanging out in the chat.
I'll
Moose,
tell you, the ZNA reference, man, is making me believe it.
My man Moose, if this is you, 2 things. Number 1, you missed us putting your ass over like Rover last night on the actual live review of the pay-per-view. But we also put you over again at the beginning of this Xplosion Open Forum talks. We put you over.
Yeah, MVP of Hard to Kill, no doubt.
Well, he said this isn't Moose, this is Quinn. I like saying balls.
But we like to feel that way. We like to feel that.
All right, listen, if it is Quinn or is it Moose, whoever. Hey, all we know is Moose is the MVP of the show last night, of the weekend. Yep. Bottom line. Bottom line. Hakeem, I think you can agree with that one, right?
Oh, most definitely, especially after that, what do they call it? The C4 Spanish fly from the top rope, which
my God.
Not only shook the ring, but actually shook the camera at one point. I'm like, my God, I swear, how many people must have been making lists right now saying like people who should be joining AEW or elsewhere in 2000 whatever, and you have like Moose at like the top of this list, where in less than 24 hours ago they're like, who the F is Moose? Yeah. Now they're like, Oh, Moose, like, Tony Khan, you gotta start signing this guy. I heard his contract is coming up. You have to sign this guy. It's like
the tide turned like yesterday. Yeah. Unbelievable. Everybody,
we know 2 years. He's still signed for 2 years. If he wasn't,
yeah,
be all over.
In my ass.
they are all No, listen, I'm Number 1, bottom. I always love it, especially with Moose, because we've seen it for a long time. He is a star, no question about it. From the entrance to the exit, the man's a star, and he put in the work, and that's why he came out on top last. That's why he looked like the real deal.
And we'll talk about it on Tuesday, but obviously you got to stay to the Impact socials. They put it on Twitter earlier. There was some stuff that happened after the match.
Yeah. Oh, there was a very exclusive. How can you see that?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I think I remember seeing it earlier today before I went to work. I think it was the interview with Swan? Yeah, where she's trying to ask Rich like what happened, and I think if I remember correctly, Swan was saying like, I may not like him, but he's earned my respect, which is a nice thing to say. Then you have, speak of the devil, Moose come into the frame, and Gia asked him the same thing, and Moose, realizing he just lost on a big show in front of where new people were watching, responds in the nicest way possible, in that he turns around, grabs Rich Swann, and shucks him to the nearest wall and basically says, now that the match is over, I'm coming after you and your title. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, and we're back to square one again.
That son of a bitch.
Exactly.
All right, perfect. Good. Let's perfect way to end it with Rich Swann on the son of a bitch. Yeah. We're gonna wrap up. We're at our hour. Hakeem, one more quick plug. Where can they find your articles? Follow you. Get that in real quick. I want to know I want people to start reading it off because we have no Impact programming tomorrow. So read all the Hakeem shit tomorrow, so you're ready for Tuesday. So Hakeem, where can they find it? What do you got?
All right. You can follow me at Fullerton Hakeem on Twitter, at where you will most likely see most of my Impact-related articles. As I said, I have 10 Impact knockouts who first appeared at Knockouts Knockdown coming on Tuesday, and the week after that, the top 5 Impact knockouts of the 2000s, the first of a series regarding that. And pretty much, if you need me and if you need somebody to inform you on anything Impact related, I am your guy. And also, if you want a show that talks about Impact the best way possible, you need to watch TNI and smash this podcast, but mostly TNI.
Oh, but yeah, you can give some love to some J-Bo. Oh, J-Bo, no, I'll take it that back.
Give it a little bit.
Give him a little bit of the rub. Come on, give him the guy a little bit of rub. Awesome. Hakeem, thank you very much. We appreciate that. So check that out, guys. And I want everybody, I need this campaign. Hakeem should be writing for the Impact Wrestling website. They need articles back, original articles. And Hakeem, I swear, I love your articles. I think they should be on the Impact website because they're not too insidery. They're not too one-sided. They are perfect, informative articles. So all the loyal TNI folks, bother Josh Matthews. Whatever you got to do, tweet this out, retweet Hakeem's articles, tag Impact in it. Let them know you have a writer here that could be writing for your website informative articles about the history of the company. You know, facts you never knew. That they need somebody doing that. Nobody, Bill, you remember when they used to do that back in the day?
I do remember. No, I was a fan. I think that would be something to look at going forward. Maybe now Josh is in his new role. Yeah. I don't know how much that involves the website as well, because I know he had a hand in it previously. If that's more, I would definitely throw that suggestion. Make it a destination, your website. Absolutely. Not just like right now. I know they've been redoing obviously Impact Plus, the store, Shop Impact, but now you got to work on content other than just a rehash of that week's show or an upcoming pay-per-view. Exclusive content, articles, go back to history, do things like that. You can get a lot out of your website. Like honestly, up north has done that. That's a big history of them doing that. They utilize their website very well.
Yeah, all the little clips and content they can put out. There's a lot to do.
Like what Garrett does on the Twitter account, do on the website.
Yeah, just informative articles. It's engaging, you know.
Yeah, in fact, if you could go one step further, it's like I've heard you guys always say like Impact needs more exclusive content on their sites. I'm thinking, well, okay, how about this? You have the websites, you have the articles on the website, but how about in some cases you can turn some of those articles into exclusive videos on YouTube as well. So that way it's like, oh, you're going to be able to see them on YouTube, but if you go onto the Impact Plus tab or on Twitter, you might get a taste of it. For, few days in advance, to quote, whet their appetites.
Or even this, Hakeem. Let's say you have an article of a list of like moments. You put the Impact Plus link after each moment. Say, oh, you want to see this moment? Here's your link. Go watch it.
Wait, give me the Joe Doran.
Oh shit! Exactly. That too as well. And it's like at the end of the day, it's gonna help Impact Wrestling because again, the more your name is out there on social media, the better off it's gonna be. Because that's the one thing this brand had always had issues with. It's like it has the wrestling, it has the talent, but people were not willing to give it the time of day, or its influence on social media wasn't big enough. It's growing, but it can always get bigger, and that is the most important thing. How
Josh Matthews, how could you not hire this man to be your content writer for your website? Honest to God, you have somebody right here. Read the articles, and I'm telling you right now, you're missing out if you don't hire this man to write stuff for the website.
And plus, if I got hired and things go well, I could perhaps put a good word for you guys. It's like, I don't know if you guys noticed this. It's like there's a YouTube channel involving a bunch of guys and a girl who actually talk about your show. It's like, where you don't mean the TNI guys, right?
They're like, oh, is that scumbag Kyle still with him? No way, no deal.
And I'm thinking like, one is in charge of a wrestling show in Chicago. The other one is a shopaholic when it comes to the Impact merch, and the other guys very well could be like, serve as like, extras, they like, security, if you will. I mean, I actually would have loved
Jay Palmer.
Jay Palmer. All right, let's wrap up. We're at about our time limit here.
I don't want 3 minutes with Moose.
No.
I'll just take the duties of putting him over here. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, fair enough.
Hakeem, one more time on your Twitter handle for the audio people. Where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Fullerton Hakeem, and if you're looking for anything Impact related, especially whether it's article form, you can follow me there.
Very nice. All right, Bill, we're gonna get you, man.
You know what? I don't need to put myself over tonight. I'm gonna put over this comment because Tasha and Kiera, they were shooting on the Tonys today, and I love it. They're like, "We'll come down there, Tony. God, you don't have a real tag division down there." So
great.
Let's hear Akeem's. Let's hear it because I can't do it well.
We need that one of yours.
Okay, all right. Let me just get this ready right here. Said like AEW wants to call itself the best. Yeah, well, guess what? Until your until your women's division is on the same level as Impact's, never mind anyone else's, you ain't in the same league. So sorry. Fire and Flavor are the representative for this division. Why? Because Impact has and will always be the best. Period. Okay.
There you go. So that's legitimate. And this, Bell's Boy, fake wrestling news. I know who said that. Fake wrestling news.
I didn't understand it.
One more surprise coming Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know. I know who said that too.
If there's more surprises, I can't wait.
So we know there's a bunch of people in Nashville, so I could say that too. Yeah, there's people in Nashville. They weren't on Hard to Kill, so they might show up.
I just hope one of those surprises eventually sees Brian Myers and Matt Cardona teaming up one time. Whether Cardona gets signed or not, we need.
There's no doubt that's happening at least once.
Yeah, whether it's a segment or a match, we gotta have it happen just once.
Very nice. All right, Bill. So you're not going to put yourself over. You put Tasha over there, but William N. Gardner on Twitter and Instagram. I'll put over. He's got the Tasha. J Bone, you're going to be on live tomorrow. Where can they get you? All your stuff. Plug it all up.
You can find me over that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where we're smashing all things wrestling. So Hakeem put up a poll a few days ago. Yeah, here comes a remix. Hakeem put up a poll the other day asking people which knockdown I should do next. The whole poll was virtually tied at like 20-some%. So if you want to hit me up on the old Twitter box and sound off if you want to let me know which one I should do. There's a handful of them. Maybe I'll just do the first one. I don't know, but I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Do the last one. I was there.
Oh yeah, because it got
in front of like 10 people, and I'm one of them.
Oh yeah, it was like
which year is it?
2017. Yeah,
maybe.
That was a tough one.
It was a matinee show down at the at Florida.
Oh, okay. And that was before they started touring again.
Yeah. If you're not convinced on watching it, may I just say that it was the debut of a certain knockout that has grown on that has become a fan favorite for the Knockouts division. And let's just say a certain significant other to a popular Impact wrestler. And I won't give away who it is, but hopefully that is enough tease for you to be like, okay, you got me interested. Because it was a three-way on my poll I made. It was a three-way between 2015, 16, and 17. But I'd go with 17 because I've seen the card. It looks a lot more better than the other. But again, my opinion.
All right, cool. Well, I'll look it up. I know they're all on a list on the Impact Plus app, so it'll be easy to find. So, all right, yeah, I'll check that out, and we'll do something Knockouts related tomorrow night in celebration of the Knockouts Tag Team Division finals at Hard to Kill.
All right, cool. Speaking of which, that reminded Bill, we never got to talk about celebration. We got distracted. Ethan Page took away from your celebration talk.
Darn, Ethan Page.
Maybe we'll touch on it on Tuesday. Depending on how long we'll touch on it Tuesday. So remind me to bring that up.
Yes.
I'll pitch it to you on Tuesday. We'll bring it up and just break it down a little bit. But guys, you get me at Trent's-a-Berry over on Twitter as well, or HEMI Music on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. The show itself at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Type in Total Nonstop Impact, comes right up. Look for it. We're on all the social medias, guys, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact, prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact, youtube.com/Total Nonstop Impact, Discord link in the description below. Get it there. Audio of this podcast and everything we do on all major audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. If you listen to it, we're on it. Rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you to all the international listeners who listen on audio. We hope you enjoy the Hard to Kill one. If you weren't able to watch it live, check out the review. The reviews are up. The watch along is up. The reactions up. All of it's on the Twitch and YouTube. Go check it out. We'll be there. It's there for you to as an accompany piece if you're watching it today, tomorrow, before Impact on Tuesday. But speaking of Impact on Tuesday, Bill, what goes on Tuesday nights?
Tuesday, 8 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, the co-stream on the Twitch. You watch the show with us, the official access stream on there. Me, J-Bone, on there. You in the chat, reacting with us all night long on there. And we will stay as long as it takes until we get to the review. And then we'll do that, and it'll be all night long, as Rich Swan will say. And it's a hard to kill fallout. It's gonna be wild.
Tuesday's
and we'll take the questions. We'll take the hard hitting questions. We'll talk Ethan Page on Tuesday. We'll talk whatever you want to talk.
And if Matthew Palmer shows up on the next episode of Impact, you can expect Bill to be shooting left, right, and center.
Well, you know what? Here, I think everyone is wondering. They think there's like a personal thing between me and Matt Palmer.
Yeah,
there's not. It had to do with Moose, and you just saw why. If Hard to Kill didn't demonstrate, the guy should be in the main event, and that's what he showed. He stole the show at Hard to Kill, and he was messing with a security guard the week before. What's going on here?
True.
Yeah, I mean,
I just didn't like. He was wasting Moose's time, so he was wasting my time.
Back
to catering, sweep the floor, watch the back door.
Yeah, get out of here, Matthew Palmer.
At least he got his ass handed to him on the previous episode of Impact. So we won't have to see Mrs. Mr. Ember Moon ever again.
That's right. I thought we saw Ethan Page's heart ripped out. They might as well have taken Palmer's spine out.
Bill shooting. All right.
Goodbye and good night, TNI fans. Kenny Omega.
After the co-stream, we're going to be doing the Impact on Access TV review, full show review. We'll do J-Bone's news to kick it off, all the new happenings. We'll touch on Celebration, Hard to Kill Fallout, which is good. Probably going to be a big show Tuesday. The post-pay-per-view show is always a big one.
Oh, we'll be shooting on this all night if it's the same Twitch breaks.
That son of a bitch.
If it's the Twitch repeats, we got beef.
Bully Ray thing, the Beer Money versus LAX stuff again. It's like, okay, it's like, come on, you
Steiner
got 20 years. Yeah, Steiner math. You got 20 years of history, and that's why you can come up with like, come on, man.
Hulk Hogan, I used you, and Brooke, I screwed you. If I hear that on Tuesday, I'm cracking skulls.
Come on, man.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna get out of here, everybody. Thank you. Have a great. If you're off tomorrow, I found out I'm off of work tomorrow. MLK
good
Day.
For you.
Here we go.
Good for you.
I just found that out.
I wish I was off.
If you're off,
I hope you do it in service of Martin Luther King tomorrow.
I am. I am a big fan of MLK. I was just talking to my dad about it. I had a nice deep conversation about the man a little while ago. So if you're off tomorrow, enjoy it. And if not, have a good day at work. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday night. Impact X TV review Thursday. Throwback show. Episode 54 NWA TNA. Watch it. We're still in the asylum for a little bit. Then Sunday, we're right back here. No more pay-per-views this month. We're just normal schedule. Put the schedule out on Twitter. Follow it at We Talk Impact. We'll put it out there. You'll know when we're live. Check it out, guys.
Can we take a Julian request to end it?
Wait, what?
Julian has a request.
Go ahead. What's the request?
Oh, boy.
No Alicia tonight, so she doesn't like it, but we love it. So I think it's deserved. A little fake wrestling.
Play it. Go ahead, play it.
For that fake wrestling news. Don't believe anything that you read on the internet.
And with that, good night, everybody.